Solomon Mahlangu, long live. Long live the spirit of J.B. Marx, long live. Long live the spirit of Comrade Kotani, long live. Amandla. Program directors, President Jacob Zuma, Comrade Mayor, General Secretary of the SABC, Comrade Blade, Comrade Lamini from COSATU, Sanko leadership, cabinet ministers and deputy ministers who are present, MECs, comrades and friends, all diplomats present, if you can allow me to say all protocol observed. Can I have a tissue? Congratulations, Comrade Mayor and the Council on the beautiful work that you have done. Like you said earlier when we were walking around, that you are unveiling this monument when people are very unhappy, our young people, about the statues. However, this is totally different. Comrades, there is a perception out there that black people are generally corrupt, in particular, our leaders. There is also a perception that our leaders, who happen to be black, have no morals. No day passes without untested allegations about our leaders in some media. This perception of morally bankrupt leaders also applies to the dead leaders who cannot defend themselves. In poorly researched and recycled opinion pieces and books, Chris is alleged to have fathered some woman. The said daughters were given the maximum publicity by some media houses on the 20th anniversary of his death. I guess to come up with something negative about Chris, because blacks, they're strange human beings. I consulted my lawyer about these allegations of the two women, and my lawyer employed a private investigator. Among the many things that the private investigator discovered are Vanessa Hani, her real name is Pindile Madonsela, who is a Mozambican national who fraudulently obtained a South African ID. Now I want to address the press here. Our journalists, you are lazy to investigate. You love what I call sensational reporting. For years, some of our press in this country have run, literally, portraying them as Chris's children. None of you as journalists have ever asked a simple question: what is the name of your mother? You never did. All this information was provided by a private investigator. I would like to appeal to our journalists, reporters, that before you write stories about us, about our leaders, about South Africans in general, do your research, investigate. These two women have been telling all of you that they are sisters. The PI has done homework. They are not related at all. As I told you, the so-called Vanessa Hani, her real name is Pindile Madonsela. And I'll give you free information. You know where she got fraudulent ID? in KwaZulu-Natal, Nogal. Okay. But since the president is here, and I've been taught to respect my leaders, I will not say the things that I really wanted to say. What I'm trying to say is, President, I appreciate your presence here. We love you. I love you. But namhlanje umphazamisile wait. With the information from the private investigator, I went to the Department of Home Affairs to request, you know how I'll tell you how private investigators operate. They get information in different ways. Now, I had to go to Department of Home Affairs with this information of the private investigators' findings. I got a response from the Director General of the Department of Home Affairs dated August 2014. I will not read the love letter, all of it to you, but I'll read the relevant parts. And whoever wants the copy of the letter, I'll make 1,000 copies. You go to SACP office. I'm sure they'll be able to help me. They'll distribute the letter. The letter reads in part, I quote, this is from the Director General. Regarding matters with the Department of Home Affairs, our records on the two individuals mentioned above do not, underline that, do not show that they are related to Mr. Chris Hani. This is based on the documentary evidence that they submitted themselves to the department, which does not indicate Chris Hani is their father, close quote. Comrades, the above information is a proof that journalists never investigated the story. And some media houses to date are still parading these women as Chris' daughters. The question I ask myself is, 22 years, the man is dead. You are still pursuing it. What is the real reason? What is the bigger agenda? You know, you have the answers for me. I deal through the SACP office. You go and talk to them, they'll pass the information, but I want to know the reasons. I want to believe when Chris died, I'm not emotional, you know, I thought about it. And President, I'm terribly sorry that I bring personal things here, but this is the only platform where I can tell South Africa the truth, because the press has been lying, deliberately misleading South Africans. That's the best thing they know how to do, né? Anyway, when Chris died, lots of speeches were made by the ANC-led alliance. Lots of people said good things. Most of the things as a wife, I didn't even know about this man. Thanks to you, Comrade JZ, and all the comrades. Some of the stories I was hearing for the first time. But one thing I know, he's not the father of these women. So, when some of the media houses had all these praises about this dedicated cadre, who work hard, who respected the leadership, I think some journalists and some authors thought, yeah, man, this is too good for a black man. Black men are supposed to be corrupt and they have no morals. So what did they decide to do? They decided to go what they thought was mud. And they threw the mud at the corpse. I can't believe in you guys. And guess what? That mud never stuck. go and find some other dirty stories. President, re a tsoa nje, ha o tsoa makgowa a ngola ka rona. Ba ngola ka rona ha ba re botse, ha ba confirm rona ntho tse ba di ngolang ke nnete. But I blame the comrades. Comrades, we have to write our own history. Re ke se tlogele makgowa a tsa kgakala ko. Ba tle fa, ha ba re itse a ba tsebe nix ka rona. Ba ngola nje. I know President, I sebetse jwalo. To the young people, there is lots of information in Little House. All you have to do is to go there. There are lots of us who are old. I'm 67 and very proud of it. Okay. We will tell you things that we know. But what is being written now is what I call these people Googled in the computers, picked up what suited them, picked up what JZ said about Chris, what Blaze said about Chris. Really call that a book? Tell me something I don't know. Mr. President, this habit, or I don't know what to call it, why is this as a buyak? Why is it President? Ntena ya hore makgowa ana, angwale ditaba ka rona, ba sa bui ka rona. It's I saw a comrade. You know what, President? The way they are behaving reminds me of during apartheid days when the National Party made and took decisions about black people without them. Because the National Party knew blacks. I find this very interesting. To me, that after so many years after our independence, after our freedom, the same pattern continues. They write about us without talking to us. They know it all. This type of authors need drastic transformation to move out of their superiority comfort zones. There's lots of funny things that were written. Those who know what PAC will understand. I'll give you the background because most of you are very young, you don't know who I am. I'm Limpho. I was born in Lesotho. Now my father is a Mosotho. Somebody writes in a book that my father was a PAC member president. It shows lack of research. And my father is dead, Nohal, ne? May his soul rest in peace, amen. Amen. In one of these famous pieces, Sangolwa nke makgowa, ne? Bari, ke kopane, ibile ke nyalane le Chris Lesotho. President, wena wa iseba neti, ne? I don't have to justify or confirm anything, but I'm just trying to illustrate journalists and reporters that before you take your pen, write whatever you write, check your facts. Comrades, I believe in the freedom of the press. However, I have found out that some journalists write stories which have not been researched, which have not been investigated. I find that some journalists reporting are totally reckless, insensitive, malicious, and totally irresponsible. I believe in the freedom of the press with responsibility. Comrades, the ANC is under attack, and we have to remain vigilant and united. We should not be fooled by the press that singles out the president for attacks out of ANC collective. When the president gets attacked, it means the ANC is attacked. We elected President Zuma to be our president. They attack him, they're attacking the ANC. The attacks by the media on our leaders have everything to do with the principles and values of our movement. The attacks on our leaders have everything to do with the president's decision to create black industrialists and to empower black business. President, mmereko ha o thata. Ba wetsa kgomo ya moshate, wa itlosa o phoso. Wa etsa o phoso. President, mosebetsi wa hao o moholo. Empa ntho o tlamehang o itsebe. Ho kgethile. A kgetha ke bona ba. O kgethiwe ke rona ma ANC. And decided you are going to lead us. And o tla re leader ba rata kapo ba sa rata. Backward never. Pele ya pele le tlasa mathata. Amandla.
Stele kuijo ngapho.